Hey, what is going on, shrimp keepers? First of all, I hope you guys are having a great Sunday. I just got back from spending some time with the family, so you got to enjoy that. So I'm actually pretty exhausted. I'm going to try to keep it strong for the live stream, but I'm exhausted. I don't feel good for some reason. I don't know what's going on, but it's all good. So I'm here for you guys, and I'm happy to be here. Cool thing about tonight is Game of Thrones is on tonight. There's other good shows that I watched that are on tonight. So tonight is going to be a good night regardless. But let me give a shout out to some people. Dank Tank's in the house. Ruru2, April Shaw, Kyle's Fish Room. Kang Lee's in the house. What's going on, Kang Lee? A lot of good people. V-Stag's here. And already Dank Tank's asked a question. He said, Rob, I want to do a 55-gallon shrimp breeding tank. How many should I start off with? I always recommend at least probably a good ratio to go off of as a beginner is probably 1 shrimp per gallon. And so, like, if you got a 10-gallon tank, 10 shrimp is pretty good. I mean, you could do a lot more than that. Like, you could get away with 2 shrimp per gallon really easy. But 1 shrimp per gallon is a good starting point, especially in a 55-gallon tank since it's so big. The females are going to have a hard time finding them. Or the males are going to have a hard time finding the females if you only have, say, 10 shrimp. But if you have 50 shrimp in there, you're going to really increase your odds of being able to breed more shrimp. If you get a matin filter, what you can do, if you only start off with 20 shrimp, you bring the matin filter down and corner them in, like, let's say, a fourth of the tank. And then as the population grows, keep moving the matin filter. And that's one way you can start off with less the number of shrimp in a bigger tank. So V-Stag says, hit that like button and share. Thank you so much, V-Stag. I really do appreciate that. Danny's Aquarium's in the house. It's 12:39 a.m. his time. Man, you must be exhausted. Probably by now it's 1 o'clock your time. That's just crazy. Esaluzia says, hey, guys, I have a ton of blue bolts and shadow pandas. I tried feeding them Shrimp King Complete, what I use on my other tanks, and they won't eat it. I also did try Shrimp King Mineral, and they did eat it. Wow, that's crazy. So whenever I had picky shrimp in the past, I would feed them, what's it called? I got to think of it. Once it comes to me, I'll tell you. But you can try different Shrimp King products. Usually, all the shrimp that we have except them, one thing that could be going on is you have enough biofilm in the tank or you have enough natural foods like Indian almond leaves or algae, and so they really don't need the food. And that could be what's happening. So I would just say, give them a break for like 5 days and feed it to them again. I personally have never had a problem with them eating Shrimp King Complete ever. Maybe those shrimp snacks, but you asked, which shrimp snack should you try? I won't be able to make the live stream, but I'll watch it later tonight or tomorrow if you guys could help. So I would say, Shrimp King Complete is definitely going to be your best option. You can try other things. One thing that is pretty widely accepted around our fish room, but again, so is Shrimp King Complete, is Dandelion. I'm really liking that product. We all like it, but I really like it. And so that's one thing. Nisi's in the house. What's going on, Nisi? McMurray Farms. Everybody's here. So shout out to you guys. Before we really get in the stream, got a lot of things I want to say before we get into it. First of all, thank you to everyone that's here. Thank you to everyone that supported us and just been a part of the Flip Aquatics stream. We definitely had our best month ever as far as sales. We had a lot of big things happen. We had a lot of changes, a lot of good stuff happening. Subscriptions are through the roof as far as people subscribing to the YouTube channel. We had a lot of videos that did really well, like the Lucas Brett's tours really did well. We just posted a 800-gallon fish room tour, which is doing really, really well. So just all the successes lately. I got to give credit to you all, and then I got to give credit to God because you guys know that's how I am. So there's just a lot of cool things going on, and I just give all the success back to you all and God, and that's just where it comes from. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. So always have to start off with that. I know some people always give me crap about it, but I did want to say that. The other thing is we do have a special. I want to do this thing to where we do like bring back the Shrimp Saturday. And I do a video talking about like how to breed a specific shrimp and then doing a sale that goes along with those shrimp. Or maybe I'll even talk about a product, or I'll talk about a situation that we're having, like with temperature or water changes, and then kind of guide you guys in on how to do that. And so we really want to revive this Shrimp Saturday thing, but we haven't got around to it yet. I'm waiting until I survive tomorrow. Tomorrow is our big shipping day. It's our first shipping day for the imported shrimp, and it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of work. We got a ton of packages going out. I'll try to get some video of it, but it is going to be crazy. So we're starting really early. We're probably going to work really late, and Amanda's out of town with her family. She needed to get away and just go see them, spend some time with them. So she's doing that. So we're down a man or a woman, and it's just going to be a rough couple of days. But anyway, with that being said, do a special tonight. I want to do a special, and the special is, let me make sure I got it written out. It's a starter 10. So it's in the description already. It's capital S, then TARTER, and then the number 10. And what that is we're doing 10% off of all of our shrimp starter packs. And really, it's just to help people that want to get into the hobby, because the starter packs come with like a shrimp net. They come with 6 months food supply. They come with Indian almond leaves and then the shrimp. So it's really all the things you need to get started, besides like the tank, the substrate, and the filter, which we probably will build a package like that. So if anyone's in the chat and they've been dabbling back and forth about getting the shrimp, this is a good thing, or a good time to do it. I just gave one of these packs away to Corey of Aquarium Co-op. He had his 100th live stream, and I wanted to donate one to him. And so I figured we might as well do a sale on them too if anyone's interested. And so all that's down there in the description. And so you guys are more than welcome to take advantage of that. We really appreciate your business and your support. Without you guys, again, we wouldn't be here. And so thank you so much. Much love to all of you. And let's get into just hawking pet shrimp. And then we can end at 8 o'clock and we can all go watch Game of Thrones, right? So anyway, Sneezana K says, hi, when will it start? It's 45 a.m. Jeez, oh man. Yeah, it started at 1 a.m. your time. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so hopefully you're still here. Ooh, I just scrolled down too far. It's not a bad thing about this. It scrolls really fast. Oh yeah, Matt, don't worry. I won't do any spoilers for you guys. I will not say anything about Game of Thrones. But Matt Dill, I got to give a shout out to Matt Dill. He posted a really, really nice comment, just talking about some things that are going on in his life, some situations that happen, and just how this hobby really changed his life. And I just remember reading this comment. It came up on my phone, and I'm reading through, and he's like going in depth to like how this happened, and he got hurt, and then work fired him once he came back to work. And it was just so many things that went wrong in his life, and he was just totally down on himself. And then he got into this awesome hobby that is the shrimp hobby, and it just kind of changed his whole perspective on things. And we see this happen time and time again. Sergeant Tanks, shout out to him. Jeremy is another one. Just where like life just has you down and it's beating you up, and then you find something like this hobby, like these shrimp behind me, and it just absolutely changes your life. So shout out to Matt Dill. Thank you for being here, my friend. It's always good to hang out with the shrimp fam or the fish fam, whichever one. So much love to all you guys. Thank you for being here. McMurray asked a question. He said, at Flip Aquatics, what do you use to treat your imported shrimp? Are there any alternatives to that I might be able to find in my country? So McMurray, there's a couple things we're trying out right now. We're testing a lot of different products. The only one that we use right now that works for sure is fenbendazole, which is basically just a dog dewormer. You can, if you find any type of dewormer in your country, whether it's for goats or horses or cows or anything, it most likely will work on shrimp to kill pretty much any parasite that they'll get. And so you just have to find the right dosage. So always start small. And so that's one way to treat it. The Elabiopsidea, which is that green fungus, that stuff is not treatable. And so those ones you just have to quarantine and let them live out their lives. Or you can just euthanize them because they will not live, unfortunately. The other thing that you could do is we use hydrogen peroxide, which I'm sure you can find that in your country somehow. We use it to treat cuts. Like if we start getting an infection or something, it's to sterilize it. It's basically just alcohol. And I dose that into a catch cup. I put shrimp into a catch cup if they're looking cloudy, like a bacterial infection, and put some of that in there, let them stay in there for a while, and it'll start eating away at that infection. And so that's another thing that we do. That seems to work good. I see we got Stormy Mist in the house. Stormy had her birthday. I still need to get in contact with you, Stormy, Emma, whichever one you prefer, and get you some stuff. SSJ Char says, hey, how's it going? It's going pretty good. I noticed some more people tuned in. I just got back from a long weekend with, well, not a long weekend. It was only one day. I just got back from a weekend with the in-laws. They're 6.5 hours away. So I drove 6.5 hours on Friday, stayed for Saturday, drove 6.5 hours back today, and then just got back a little bit ago. And so I'm pretty exhausted. I don't really feel good. I think it's because my diet hasn't been ideal. I've been eating fast food all day today because I've been on the road, and so that's not good. But yes, so that I'm okay. But I'm glad you're here. I hope you're doing good. Let's see. Funky Either NL says, did you keep heaters in the shrimp tanks? So I used to keep heaters in all my shrimp tanks back when I was in my parents' basement, which you guys can go back and watch those videos from way back before. And what happened is one of my heaters broke and cooked my tank, and I lost all the shrimp, and I was devastated. And so from there on out, I swore, I'm never using heaters again. I'm always just going to keep the room a certain temperature. And so that's the reason I don't use heaters. I mean, if you're on top of it, they say to change heaters every 2 years, I believe it is. It's something ridiculous like that, to make sure that they don't malfunction. But you can have different things put into place that will prevent it from cooking your tank. You can have a separate thermometer or whatever in the tank that if it gets too high, it actually trips the outlet and turns off your heater. So there's some ways to get around it, but I currently do not use heaters in any of our shrimp tanks at all. Casper Shaw said, well, watching a buried shrimp in my aquarium, I noticed when she swam over the bubbler, a bubble got caught under her where the eggs were. Will this be harmful to the eggs? No, I don't think so. The only way it could be harmful to the eggs is if she got stressed out and dropped the eggs. As far as bubbles hitting them, it shouldn't affect them in any way. They're pretty resilient little eggs. Casey Corbett says, hi, Rob. What's going on, Casey? Thank you for being here. Let's see. Jordan Leroy said, gonna ask my LFS to order some new Neos for me. Got a tank freed up, looking for some recommendations. My best recommendation for shrimp, if you're looking for Neos. Okay, so if you're looking for Neos, I love the blues. So our fantasy blues are by far my favorite. Well, this isn't true. If I only had one tank, I wouldn't pick them. But if I was going with a Neo and was looking for the best color, something to stand out in a tank, I would go with the blue Neo, the fantasy blue. Some people call it a blue dream. Fantasy blue is basically just a grading scale, and it represents the color that they send. And that's how my importer does it. And so, or my exporter, I guess. And so, so definitely blue would be the way I would go. Danny's Aquarium says it's 1 o'clock, but he's not even home right now. There's a huge fire at Shell, if you know that company, really close to my house. The whole sky is orange. It looks like the end of the world. Danny, that is scary, man. You better get out of there. Hopefully everything works out. Nobody gets hurt. And hopefully, none of the houses or anything catch on fire. That's pretty crazy. Danny, you have to let me know where you live. I'll have to look that up. Nisi links some Shrimp King foods. Nisi is the best moderator of all time, hands down. She is awesome. Ants Philippines says, video your shrimp. I miss your shrimps. Ants, I'm going to do that just because you asked for it. I will put out, you know what I'm going to do? I need to do a shrimp room tour. I could do that for Tuesday's video and get that out to you all. If you guys would really like to see my shrimp tank and go around and show you the warehouse again, I haven't done a video actually looking at the shrimp in a long time, and I really haven't thought about it until just now. So, Ants, thank you so much for bringing that up. Let me write that down. Shrimp video. There we go. You are going to get a shrimp video just because you asked for it. Let's see. Up visiting the King of DIY, we Jordan. I don't know that. I don't know what you mean, but that's cool, Lord Vader, that you were visiting the King of DIY. Always good. Sergeant Tank says he's loving the swag. This is some good swag. I got to give him that. Matt Dill, my man, giving a shout out. He gave a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Matt. He said 125-gallon tank. Want it full of shrimp who won't interbreed. Also want 100 plus small, bright, colorful fish. Any advice on stocking, escape, or paraphernalia? So what I would suggest, you got a 125-gallon tank. That is a monster tank. And so if it was my tank, what I would do is I would probably, if you're wanting to, like, if money wasn't an issue, like if you just had a 125-gallon tank, what I would do is I would get some nice buffering substrate. Like you could do fluval shrimp stratum, you could do Brightwell, contra soil. 88 Amazonia is probably like the pinnacle. So that would probably be the one I would choose. I would put it in the tank, get some really nice plants going. Nothing that requires like CO2 or like heavy dosing, and just let it build up. And then I would put a ton of Taiwan bees in there, like blue bolts, shadow pandas, shadow king kongs, black pandas, red wines. Like I'd put every type of Taiwan bee in there because it would be the most colorful tank in the world. But if you want to add fish and things like that to it, what I would do, if you don't really want to breed shrimp, I would do a mono shrimp just because they're hardy as can be. They hold their own. They live for forever. But if you want something that can breed, I would probably go with any of the Neos will really work. I wouldn't go anything other than Neos. And so I would do like a pool filtered sand and probably the fantasy blue Neos or the black rose, one of those two. Actually, or the Bloody Marys, because I've been loving those lately. I've been looking at their tanks a lot, the ones that we got in. So I would do one of those, and then I would probably do Celestial Pearl Danios, just because they've been a favorite of ours. We got a tank of them, and I love watching it. And so I would do those and just some tons of moss in there and things like that. Definitely Malaysian driftwood. Make sure you got your Indian almond leaves, everything like that, and just really soup it up. That's what I would do. And if you do plan on doing any of that, let me know, and I will make sure to get you the hookup on stocking your 125. You just have to send me a video of it because I want to see it all set up. I think that would be so cool. But thank you for the super chat, Matt Dill. Really do appreciate it. Let's see. Let me scroll down to the bottom, make sure I didn't miss anything. Geez, Matt Dill dropping another $5 super chat. What a guy. He said custom built LEDs with each LED addressable 6 mil color. What fish / shrimp to look awesome under color lights? Ooh, lights that won't hurt them. If you're looking for something to really pop, I would do orange. Orange always stands out. Like in whatever tank it's in, it always stands out. So that's what I would look for. Stormy Mist said for 1,000 sub special. Well, when I get there, I will do some shirts. Say shirts if you like the idea. Shirts. Stormy, always love having you here. Okay. Nisi messaged me Stormy Mist Instagram account. Very cool. I think I actually follow Stormy Mist on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken, because I think she was going to live stream on there. JH Aquatics says, can you ship shrimp to the U.S. Virgin Islands? Actually, I really believe I can. I can get on my website and check. Let me. I really do believe I can. You know, if you get on my website, I only have shipping available to places that I can ship to. If it will let you put in the Virgin Islands, that means that I can ship to you. I'll put them in a medium flat rate box, and I'll send them out to you. And hopefully it won't take terribly long to get there. I would say it would only take 5 days tops. So yeah, as long as it will let you process it on the website, then I can ship it to you. So that's really cool. So very good question, JH Aquatics. Jordan Leroy 19 says, going to order some new Neos from my LFS tomorrow. Fancy some Reallys, probably some carbons. Just be careful with the carbons. They're hardy as can be, but they usually come with the parasite Elobia obsidea. So just know that right off the bat to make sure you're looking for it. If it looks like a shrimp has eggs, just make sure they're eggs and not the Elobia obsidea. Maybe look up some pictures if you're not familiar with it. But yeah, that's what I would suggest. Asen said yes. Talk H2O2. Praying for vid on how your peroxide processes. So yeah, so that's actually a good idea for video as well. How I treat with peroxide. How to peroxide. There we go. I got it written down. And let me know what you guys think about this. So I've been debating on doing this now that I'm getting some more free time, or I'm going to start making more free time, is I want to do short videos. Shout out to DT Aquariums, by the way. I see Daryl in the house. Shout out to him and his channel. He makes some cool shrimp videos as well. Daryl, you got to let me know what's going on with the Galaxy Pintos. I want to get an update. And Aquatics, I have not started selling t-shirts yet. I'm so sorry. But we're like this close. Soon as it's crazy. I say this every week, so don't get on me. But tomorrow's like the big day of shipping. And this weekend was like I had to go with my wife to go see her parents, or she probably would have killed me. And so there's been a lot of things that came up that I haven't got to the shirts yet. But they are definitely in the works. Like so badly need them. But anyway, this idea that I have. So I'm debating, and I really think it's a good idea. But I want your guys' feedback just to make sure. I'm thinking about making shorter videos. So like if I do like, and I don't even know how short they're going to be, but say they're 4 minutes long. And it's going to be about a specific topic as far as shrimp goes. So like I'll call it like a shrimp quickie or something. Like something catchy like that. And it would be about like what temperature to keep shrimp in. And then it would me saying like, hey, like this is what I keep shrimp in, blah, 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 blah. And this is how I do it. Or like, what do I feed shrimp to increase baby shrimp survival rate? Or what do I do this? And just little short videos that give you a lot of information, because I've been getting some hard feedback from people that are really angry that I don't give as much information as I used to. And really it comes down to busyness. It comes down to a lot of things. It comes down to the majority of people on the channel don't want to see just information. They want to be entertained and also see information. So there's a lot of stuff. But yeah, so anyway, I guess that's that. Let me know what you think about the shorter videos and action-packed, like hardcore information. We got Jenny Lee in the house. What's going on, Jenny Lee? I got your email. I need to respond. But yeah, so we'll work everything out, Jenny Lee. Thank you for reaching out to me. So shout out to Jenny Lee. Go check out her channel if you haven't already. She has like a really cool channel. You just got to go look at it. And I'm pretty sure she does videos at least twice a week. But actually, let me just check. I don't want to be telling you guys bad information. Let me see here. But yes, so Jenny Lee, it looks like she does at least one video a week for sure. So go check out her channel. The other thing, if you guys just tuned in, we are doing a sale today, or a little, not really a sale, but it's kind of like a little discount. It's down in the description. It's starter 10, and it's for our shrimp starter packs, which come with like Indian almond leaves. They come with a fluval shrimp net. They come with 6 months supply of shrimp food, and then they come with the shrimp. And you can pick any type of shrimp that you want as far as neocardinas go. The Taiwan bees are sold out, unfortunately. I need to get more blue bolts back in. They sold too quick. And so we got to, yeah, so there's more to come. We're going to come out with a Tangerine Tiger starter pack. So there's going to be a neocardina starter pack. Then there's going to be a tiger shrimp starter pack, and then a crystal starter pack, and then the Taiwan bee starter pack. So there'll be a lot of different options come this next month. But right now it's just the neocardina starter pack. And that's that. April Shaw said, is it possible to do a learning/teaching video once a week? Yes, it is, April. So actually, that's funny that you asked that, because I just got done talking about it. And yeah, so I agree 100%. And I want to do that because I want to get back to the point, like the whole point, like the whole reason I started this channel is I did it for me. And I did it because I thought it was fun. But it morphed into the whole reason I have this channel is to grow the shrimp hobby. I want to expand this hobby that I love. I want to bring new people to it. I want to teach them how to keep shrimp successfully. I want to set them up everything that they need to be successful with shrimp. And one of the things that was missing in the United States is a safe place to buy shrimp. And there really wasn't one. Like I bought from tons of people and kept failing and failing and failing. And so that was where kind of my passion led. And that's why I have a business, because there was this void in the United States where there was no place to buy healthy shrimp. Like we are the only ones that quarantine shrimp for 30 days to make sure they don't have parasites, to make sure they're healthy, all this stuff. So that's the whole reason I do this channel, is to further this hobby. That is the only reason. And so I need to get back to doing more learning and teaching videos. Now now that we solved the problem, or I feel like we're a lot closer to solving the problem on healthy shrimp in the United States. Now we can move on to like, hey, let's grow this hobby. Let's teach people how to set up a shrimp tank. Let's teach people how to do this. And there's a lot of great information out there. Like there's a lot of people that put out good information. There's a lot of people that put out bad information too. You gotta weed through it. And so all the information I put out, at least you know that it comes from me, and you know that it comes from my experience with the shrimp that I sell. And so you know if you're buying shrimp from me, then you know that everything I'm telling you is going to work for you. It's like, for example, earlier somebody said that they have Taiwan bees and they don't eat the Shrimp King Complete. They don't eat the Shrimp King Mineral, or they eat it but not enough of it. If you got my shrimp, then my shrimp are already accustomed to eating the foods that I sell, so you know that they're going to accept it. So there's little benefits to buying shrimp from us too, and watching our videos. So there's a lot of stuff that goes back and forth. But anyway, the whole reason I started this channel is because I wanted to grow this hobby. And so yes, April Shaw, it is possible to do a learning/teaching video once a week. I think that is a great idea. Thank you. Thank you for bringing it up. Bay Area Reef said, hey, bud, that 800-gallon reef tank you showed was a very nice tank. That was honestly, it was the best fish room I'd ever seen in person. Like, first of all, let me just tell you the story. So if you guys watched my recent video, it was, I don't even remember the title. Let me just look it up so I'm not telling you bad information. So I think it was on Friday. It was like Friday. I put out a video, and it's labeled 3 monster aquariums, 800-gallon aquariums, 700 and 300-gallon fish tanks. Wow. That's what it's titled. But it was about this fish room tour that I did in Wisconsin. I think it was in Baraboo, Wisconsin. And it was like the coolest fish room I'd ever seen. So like, first of all, we're driving for like an hour to get here. And I'm like, no one's telling me any information on what I'm going to see. They're just like, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. And so we're driving, and all of a sudden we turn up like this road. But it's not a road. Apparently it's a driveway. And we're driving down this thing going 45 miles an hour because this thing is so long. And so we're literally on it for a mile, maybe a mile and a half, until eventually like we get to this little turnaround. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And here, this is his house. So like the guy is I believe he's a dentist. He's some type of doctor. But he has this house that is like in the middle of, not the woods, but into like this grown-up area of weeds and stuff. Not really weeds, but just forage. Like, I don't know what to call it. And it's just this beautiful, beautiful house. And like, there's just nature everywhere. And you're like, we'll walk up, he's not there. No one's answering the door. So we walk around back, and he has like this huge koi pond, and then another huge koi pond, and like orchards for days, like farmland, like all these garden beds, like just crazy. Like this guy's got, like, if there was a doomsday, like he's set. Like he's got everything he needs. And so like walk down these steps, there's a couple dogs out there, they come up to us, start loving on us, and we get to the bottom, and it's like these wide open doors with glass. And there's all these guys standing there that are dressed in like camo and stuff, like ready to kill somebody. And I'm like, geez, we walked into the wrong place. And here he had a shooting club come up, and they were all practicing shooting, and we're out there all day. So they were all dressed to like, you know, be outside and be shooting guns. And so we walk in and we're like, hey, we're here to see, you know, Steve and all this stuff. They're like, well, he's not here. And they're like, what are you doing here? We're like, we want to see his fish tanks. And so they do let us in. And as soon as I walk in, I see like this huge terrarium. And then there's 2 other terrariums next to it, which I didn't get on video just because the lights were out. And then there's huge 800-gallon reef tank. I kept calling it a 700-gallon reef tank. I don't know why. But maybe it was a 700-gallon tank, and I'm just not remembering correctly. I don't really know. But anyway. And then next to it is this 300-gallon cube. And I didn't show this in the video either. There's like this huge empty spot on the floor where there's no tile. And it's like where this, I don't even know, probably 1,500-gallon tank is going. He's going to put discus and angelfish in it. And it's just going to be so cool. So when I go to, I'm hoping my wife will let me go to Cataclysm this year. But it's our 1-year anniversary, so I'm still trying to work that one out. But if we go to Cataclysm, it's pretty close to where this guy lives. And I want to go back there and like see the progress he made on it. Like, because it is just so impressive. Like, if you guys haven't seen the video, go check it out, because I was literally blown away on how beautiful this was and how much time and effort he put into it. And then we got behind it to see the filtration. And it was just, oh, it was so cool. So cool. But that's enough ranting. But thank you for telling me that you like the 800-gallon reef tank. That turned into quite the adventure there. Let me see here. Those fancy reds are so great. So, Kristen, I'm guessing you're talking about the red fancy tigers. And if you are, then those are some absolutely beautiful shrimp, for sure. One of my favorite. The ones we got in this last time were not so good, and that's why we're selling them for like, I feel like we're selling them for like $4.50 a piece, where last time we were selling them for $20. Just because like they weren't nice. We're just giving everyone the deal that we got, and they get to have them and do whatever they want with them. Hopefully breed them and hopefully get some amazing shrimp out of them. But the red fancies are definitely beautiful. Let's see what else we got. April Shaw says both of the tanks are ready for the orders. I'm so excited. I already have people that want to buy from me around here. So cool. April, that's so cool. I'm glad that the shrimp hobby in your area is growing, and I'm glad that I get to be a tiny little part of it and send some shrimp your way. So that's really cool. Jordan's Fish Room says, might be getting 5 times Blue Dream shrimp, but only got a 5-gallon left. And will the 5-gallon be fine in it? Or will the 5 be fine in it? Yes. So 5 shrimp at a 5-gallon, no problem whatsoever. The only thing, whenever you have small tanks, and I'm sure you've heard this 1,000 times, you want to make sure. I hear something. It's me talking. But anyway, weird. Anyway, you want to make sure that you stay up, like on top of water changes. Make sure you stay on top of feeding, all these different things, because in a small tank, things can go wrong fast. So the biggest thing is make sure to eliminate evaporation, and then pretty much that's the biggest part of the problem. But just be on top of it, and you'll do good. Hobby Aquatics Hobby, or Home Aquatics Hobby, sorry. What's going on, man? Glad you're here. Oh, we got a $10 super chat from my man, Kang Lee. Kang is the best guy, one of the best guys I've ever met in my whole life. Awesome family, awesome guy. So much love to him. Really do appreciate everything he does. And Kang said, what's your favorite number? Had to type something, and that's all I came up with. Kang, you are awesome, man. My favorite number is probably 71, and it's only because it was my football number in high school. My football number in college was 66. But in high school, and I think it was my uncle's number playing football as well, and then my cousin got it. And so it's a number that's like really engraved into our family. And so yeah, so King 71 is my favorite number. But thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. I really do appreciate it. You and your family are just awesome. Make sure to tell your whole family that me and Amanda send our love to you. Juke Skywhacker says, how do I get out the word that I am selling shrimp in my area? The best way to do it is either create a local Facebook group that is for your area, or find one. So like around here, we don't really have a local one, but we have local like aquarium groups that you can post your shrimp in. And so you could kind of do the same thing. Just find the local Facebook groups around you. I wouldn't do Craigslist. I've never done it. You get some shady characters, I'm sure, but you can find a lot of different stuff. McMurray said, Rob, did you get my intro video? I believe so. It had something to do with water. I don't know if it was from you, but I remember Jeff showing me. Because I think you said it's Jeff's email. store@flipaquatics.com. But I'm not sure, McMurray. I'll have to double check on that. But I think I did get it. Kinu says, why can't I find any shrimp in Hawaii? If you get a net and go out to the rivers, I guarantee you will find some. I'm sure people release them in the river all the time. AMA Aquatics, or AMA Aquatics, says, hashtag Mom Lupton on the next stream. I would love to get my mom back in here, and she loves being here. And so that is a good idea. The Platypen says, is there a carbon really starter pack? So the starter packs that I forgot to add are carbon really, and then the other one is orange. The orange I didn't add. So those are 2 that I just forgot to add, and I haven't done it yet. So they will be there. I could probably add them after the stream, to be honest. I just need to go in there and actually add them. But yeah, I guess I can do that. So yeah, I can put the carbon relays in there, and then I can also put the oranges in there. Let me make sure I'm not forgetting any shrimp. I got the no, that should be it. I gotta add the oranges and the carbons. Yeah, I can definitely do that for you. It won't be until after the stream, which will. Oh no, it's only 7:30. I thought we'd been here longer. I guess not. I guess you guys have to hang out with me for 26 more minutes. Nisi said, Rob, you better take her with you and do something amazing for her if she lets you go. Too early in the relationship to miss an anniversary for sure. I agree 100%. And so I really tried to make it an anniversary trip, but she wasn't falling for it. So we're going to have to see. I got a little bit more convincing to do. Home Aquatics says, this guy sounds intense. Yeah, it definitely is intense. Aquaholic says, you have a website. If you're talking to me, I do have a website. If you're talking to McMurray Farms, I'm not sure if he has a website. Kristen says, I don't know, maybe for Thursday. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. TJK said, ever since I started feeding Shrimp King, they stopped eating glass garden foods. LOL. No way. So they like the Shrimp King food that much better. Which glass garden foods were you feeding? That's a good question. We got another super chat. Nisi said, can I share the aquarium live stream Facebook page? Someone in chat asked me and wanted to double check first. Nisi, you are free to do as you wish. You have helped me so much and so many other YouTubers by being an awesome moderator. You have free reign to share it anytime, any place, anywhere from this time moving forward. So never feel obligated to ask. Feel free to promote anything, or feel free to promote yourself or the YouTube or whatever it is that you want to post out there. Just in moderation. Bojo Ford says, what is the largest freshwater shrimp that you know of? Probably prawn. I don't know if they're definitely classified as a shrimp. They get pretty big. I've seen some that are like 12 inches long, and those are for eating. So those are the biggest ones I've ever seen. As far as just regular ornamental shrimp that we actually keep in our aquariums, probably a mono shrimp. They get to like some of them get pretty darn big, like 3 or 4 inches. David Jolis says, when are you shipping out your RCS? We are shipping out as many shrimp as physically possible tomorrow. So if you guys place an order, we're shipping them out unless otherwise noted. So like if you guys ask not to ship them out, then we're not going to ship them out. And we are shipping a lot of them out. Aquaholic says, at Flip Aquatics, do you prep almond leaves at all? Personally, we do not. I literally get them out of the bag and put them right into the aquarium. I usually stick them to the side of the glass so they're completely submerged. And then over the course of the next day or two, they fully sink onto the bottom. But yeah, I do not prepare them at all. Vawiro 0237 said, Rob, I got my first 3 shrimp and the 2 females are pregnant. Is it okay if I keep them sometime in a breeder box? Yeah, it's completely fine. The only thing is sometimes shrimp get stressed out in small areas, and it could happen that they drop their eggs, but most of the time they won't drop their eggs. I've kept them in breeder boxes, but I did want to put that out there as a warning just in case they did. Ghost MS CC Clasher, what a name, said, last week bought 10 crystal shrimp with Taiwan bee genes. Would they be called Michelins? Yes, they would. You actually spell it MISCHLINGS. So they are Michelins, because the guy that sold me them had pandas, King Kongs, Snow Whites, blues, etc. By the way, 10 shrimp for 20 euros. That is a great price, Ghost. So you made out like a bandit there. Even $20 for 10 crystal shrimp is a great deal. So you did really good. Let's see what else we got. Dun, dun, dun. Red Dirt says, what's behind you? So behind me, I got tanks. So these are the Shrimp King tanks from Dennerla. This is a hang-on breeder box from Fluval, I believe. And this is, what is that? Those are those shrimp things that are like supposedly collectible. Let me see. So this is what these are. So like they have all the different patterns of crystals, and honestly, I thought it was a silly. I thought it was a silly idea, but I asked Amanda, and she really wanted them, and so I bought them mainly for her. And so I ended up just buying 6 sets of them. I got that one out because I have the display case for it. I got like, I want to say I got like 3 more sets. No, I got 2 more sets. I sold 3 of them just because people really, really wanted them. And then the other 2 I'm just kind of hanging on to. If they become really, really popular later on, then I can sell them. If not, I'll probably give them away, and I'll probably give one away in a contest regardless. That's what they are. Supposedly they're collectibles. There was only like 100 sets made in the world or something crazy like that. But I don't know. Let's scroll back down to the bottom and see what you guys got going on. All right, so Chuck T says shrimp are illegal in Hawaii. They are illegal because people release them into the water, I'm assuming. Opeola shrimp are native to Hawaii. That's true. David Jolis says, are your red cherry shrimp out of quarantine? All of our shrimp are out of quarantine for sure. They actually got out of quarantine last Wednesday. Jordan Leroy said, Rob did one with Corey from Aquarium Co-op. I probably did do a video. Do you have a video on grading the different reds of cherry shrimp? So yeah, so the different grades of cherry shrimp, or the different grades of cherry shrimp, it starts off with the lowest grade is cherry shrimp, which is like very little red. And then it goes up to Sakura, which is almost full red. And then it goes to fire red, which is like a complete solid red, but it's still a little translucent. And then painted fire red is so red that even the legs are red. You can't see through the body whatsoever. And so those are the 3 grades. It's cherry shrimp, Sakura, fire red, and then painted fire red. Sneezana says, make video for those who are new. Tips like, how do you see if you're overfeeding? Water changes, gravel vac, decoration, and every time explain and show how you do it. That's a great idea. So videos for beginners. Vid for beginners. That is true because I've been in the hobby so long, or I've been doing shrimp for so long, it's hard for me to remember the little questions like overfeeding, like how to know. Like even gravel vacuum, like that just sounds so foreign to me because I don't do it, because you don't need to do it. So yeah, you're completely right. There are tons of beginners that get into this that are so used to gravel vacuuming, and that's a good video. I mean, it's a good video for learning, and that's what my channel is about. Really just growing this awesome little hobby of ours. So great feedback, Sneeza. Or Sneezana, sorry. Sneeza. Jonathan Bennett says, are there any Cory catfish that can be kept with shrimp? I've heard that pygmy Corys will do it well. Pygmies are pretty good with shrimp. Habrosis Corys are pretty good with shrimp because they're a little bit bigger than pygmies. They potentially will eat the babies, but they definitely will do fine with the adults. Jake Roy says, what size air pump would be best for a 20-gallon long HMF filter setup? Pretty much any filter that's rated for 10 to 20 gallons, you're going to be fine with. The Matten filters really don't require that much air, and so it definitely, you can pretty much get away with anything. I think Eheim has like a complete noiseless filter that I've used before that I really liked. And there's a couple others, like the Whisper's always been a good pump for us, things like that. And so I'm really not good at the equipment side of it because I've really taken my hobby and taken as many moving pieces out of it as I can. Like I really don't use filters. I use the HMF filters, which are the Matten filters, and an air pump. Like that's all I use. But so I'm really not 100% sure on which air pump would be best though. Matt P, any estimate on when the 40 breeders will be available? So all the Matten filters, my wholesaler that makes the foam, they actually ran out because we ordered so many, and so they had to reorder, and they're in the process of cutting it. They said it should be done by not this Monday, but next Monday was their estimate. And so we'll have the 55 gallons and the 40 breeders, and then everything else will be restocked, and so we'll be good to go on Matten filters. And so the Matten filters are coming. I could even put them up as pre-sale at the beginning of the month, possibly. We'll just wait and see. I'll get a confirmation from my wholesalers and make sure that they're going to be ready in time. Let's see. Jordan Leroy says, think I'll get the Blue Dreams after what you said about the carbon release. Don't want to run risk of the dreaded green fungus. Yeah, it is a terrible parasite, and I definitely don't want to deal with it. Rob, I know your website, LOL. Yes, Alcoholic Fish, I know you know it. Stormy Miss, FB means Facebook. There you go. Even though Brandon already answered you. But just in case you didn't miss it, or you missed it. Let's see. TJK said shrimp dinner and mineral junkie. Oh, so I actually do not feed those, TJ. I wanted to start feeding the mineral junkie because they sent me some samples of it, and I liked it. But yeah, if after feeding the complete they stopped eating it, then that's good feedback. So they definitely like the complete a lot more. That's a good thing. River Life says, at Flip Aquatics, Rob, you are about to rock the shrimp keeping world with the shipping of the imported shrimp. Much love, bro. Thank you so much, River. I hope so. I hope that they go through shipping well. So here's the scary thing is we're sending out so many boxes of shrimp and so many shrimp, and there's so much money. Like the value of all these shrimp is like a ton. And so if my post office gets all these packages and they're like, this butthole brought in X amount of, like, say, we'll just make up a number, say 500 packages. Like this butthole brought in 500 packages. Like odds are they're going to treat those packages like bad. So I really have to package them in a way that they won't get treated, that they can get treated poorly and they won't break. So one thing is I'm thinking about starting putting glass stickers on the outside of the boxes just so they handle them with care, because glass breaks so easy. So that's the only thing that they're going to be like, oh crap, like can't break this. And so, yeah, so I'm excited, River Life. Thank you for saying that. I hope it goes well, because if one thing goes wrong, like if they rough them up and all the bags break and every shrimp arrives DOA, like it would be terrible. But trusting that won't happen. So just gotta hang on and hope that it all goes well. David Jolis says, is it possible to have enough natural food in your tank? I have tried multiple foods and they don't seem to care about any of it. Just got some Shrimp King from you to try. So hopefully the Shrimp King food solves your problem. But I would say that it's possible to have enough natural food, because if you think in the wild, shrimp graze on fallen leaves, they graze on algae that's growing in the water, biofilm that's growing on logs, like that's their diet. So it's very well possible to have it to where they don't need to eat. But if you want to prolong their life, if you want to give them all the minerals they need, then it's good to get them to eat prepared foods like Shrimp King Complete, Shrimp King Protein, Mineral, things like that. What is in the tank behind me? So this tank has Aurora Blue Tigers. There's not many left in it. This one. It didn't do well. It didn't do well. I'll give you that. This tank right here, that tank has tons of Taiwan bees in it. It has some Michelins and things like that. And then over here, this tank has nothing in it. It used to have these really cool shrimp that I was so excited about that I've never seen before. They were a Paracaridina species. Then I killed them all. Yep. It happens to the best of us. It's because I didn't stay on top of water changes and I was a bad shrimp dad. But we all learn our lessons. And that's why there's no other shrimp in there, because I'm waiting until I have the time to take care of it. Yves Daigle says 20-gallon tall Madden filters. When will you have them restocked? I did answer this, but I don't know if I said it before you asked this or after. All the Madden filters should be restocked within a week and a half. That is our deadline. We also have a lot of new products coming to the website come the beginning of the month. Some things that we're trying out. And so it's going to be an exciting time for Flip Aquatics. We're trying out a lot more natural foods, like different types of leaves and things like that we're going to be offering on the website. So it's going to be really cool for us. I'm excited. Let's see. Deb HD in Toledo. Shout out to Toledo. Hopefully it's in Ohio, because that Toledo is awesome. She said, I'm guessing Deb is Deborah. So she. Best way to clean up without total breakdown to reset older active tank, tons of plants, driftwood, and sand substrate. So my question would be, why do you have to reset it? If it's already set up, you shouldn't have to reset it unless like you had buffered water or buffered substrate and the buffered substrate went bad. If you do that, then you just have to reset the whole thing. And what I would do in that situation is save, 20% of the tank water, save everything that was in the tank. Jeez, oh man. There we go. It's off now. I hate when my volume comes back on. I guess I only had it muted for an hour. But anyway, so my suggestion would be save as much of the decorations in there as possible. Everything, keep it wet. If it's going to be in a bucket for a while, put an air stone in there just to keep the bacteria alive. And then if you're moving it or something like that, then you can reset it easily. Just try to keep as much of the stuff the same to keep all that bacteria alive, all the algae alive, everything like that, and then reset it up. Or you could just do a total reset and add new bacteria in and just, hope it does good. Or you could take your filter that's on that tank, put it on a different tank, so the bacteria will stay alive, and then move it back once the tank's reset up. So there's a lot of different ways you could do it. Chestnut Brown says, Rob, are you ready to shrimple? I'm always ready to shrimple. Every day, all day. Brandon Sobramacena, I think I said that right. Probably 100% not. How often should I do a water change on a 5-gallon tank? So in theory, you shouldn't have to do a water change any more than once a month. And maybe like a gallon a month. If you're feeding appropriately and all those types of things, if you're topping off the tank with RO or distilled water to account for evaporation, like all these things play into effect. One thing you could do is check your nitrate levels. And as long as they're not building up too high, then you don't have to do water change ever. If they're staying at 0 or under 5, then you never have to do water change. It's just whether you want to monitor that number or not. Most people don't. As Son said, shrimp or seed shrimp can predate on vulnerable shrimp. Yes, seed shrimp can wipe out a whole colony of shrimp every single time. And if you don't know what seed shrimp are, tongue twister. If you don't know what seed shrimp are, you can look it up on Google, pictures of it, and you'll see it right away. They're like these little like scud-looking things, if you know what scuds are. And they definitely will wipe out a tank. So that's really, really good to know. The Platypen said, flip aquatics. I added platyfry to my shrimp tanks. In 3 days, all the seed shrimp were eaten. What were the problems with the seed shrimp again? So seed shrimp are just really bad. You added the platyfry in there. They ate them all. You're good to go. You can add. I would give it like an extra week just to make sure. But it sounds like you're doing pretty good. John Palmer dropping a $2 super chat saying, can I have shrimp with Serpe tetras? So I've never personally kept Serpe tetras, but I've kept other types of tetras. And one thing I know about tetras is they seem to be extremely aggressive. They are mean little suckers. Like I have the, what are they called? Diamond tetras. And I put rabbit snails in there thinking like, the rabbit snails will breed. Like this will be cool. And they bit the antennas off of like 2 of them. And I'm like, I'm not having this. So I moved the snails. So tetras are mean little suckers. I personally wouldn't keep shrimp with any tetra. But you can always do the ghost shrimp test, which you go to your store, you get some ghost shrimp that you like, you put them in there. And ghost shrimp are cheap, so it's not going to cost you a lot of money. And it's a good way for you to put them in and see if they will accept shrimp or not. Because if they eat the ghost shrimp, they'll definitely eat neocardinas and other things that are much more expensive. Or you can put the ghost shrimp in there over a container and see if they start nipping at the container. I don't know. There's a lot of ways you can do it. But thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything else. We are getting close to wrapping it up. We're getting close to Game of Thrones time. I think Game of Thrones starts at 8. Let me see. Game of Thrones start time. I want to make. Actually, I'll just look it up on here. That'll be quicker. Why am I using my phone? I'm excited for Game of Thrones. Oh, it's 9 p.m. Oh, we got plenty of time. Man, We even have time to go get popcorn and drinks and eat dinner and all that kind of stuff. It looks like it starts at 9 p.m. So we are good to go. Nice. But anyway, let me see. Daniel Kim says, oh my gosh, finally, what's up, Love Diesel? I finally got a weekend to chill. So glad you're here. Rue 2 says, you know nothing, Rob Snow. Yeah, don't spoil anything about Game of Thrones while people are here, because not everyone got to watch it yet. Unholy Order says, Rob, is it okay my cherry shrimp eat some frozen brine shrimp? I give my bettas, don't eat or see. I would say this. If your shrimp are eating brine shrimp, they're probably deficient in protein or calcium. And so it's not a big deal, but by them eating brine shrimp, it will quickly lead them to, maybe preying on a baby shrimp or something like that that's still alive. And so, or even adult shrimp after they, molt. And so I never like doing that. It's not at the end of the world, but I would say it would be better to not have them do that. So to give them the proper nutrients that they need, whether it's protein or calcium, just to make sure that they don't do that. The Fish Nerd, what's going on, Fish Nerd? Let's see. The Fish Nerd said, if Thursday is a good day for me to come pick up my shrimp, I should have a few hours available to help around the warehouse if you need a hand with anything. So I got to check. I usually work my other job on Thursdays. I've been meaning to respond to your email. Like I said, I just been out of town with the family and all that kind of stuff. But we can definitely work it out and hang out for a little bit, maybe get some food or something. And so that sounds good. I'll get back to you. I'll send you an email and let you know we'll work. Kristen says, Rob, are you agree with me? Good parameters for Neocaridina. Let's see. TDS of 520, pH of 8, KH of 6, and GH of 12. What do you think? So your TDS is really high, and it's curious to me why your TDS is that high. So you must have some crazy mineral content in there, because a GH of 12 and a KH of 6 will not get you to 520 TDS. So that's concerning. But as long as none of those heavy metals that make it TDS of 520, maybe you have salt in your water, like a water softener or something, that's getting that number up there. But whatever it is, as long as it's not toxic to shrimp, you should be pretty good. Your pH is a little high, but they'll get used to it. As far as GH and KH are looking good. Cooper Cichlid said, Rob, you skipped my question. Oh, no. If my tab comes out at 250 TDS, is that good for all Neos? So it really depends on what's in your TDS. So TDS is just the measure of total dissolved solids. So you could have TDS water with a GH of 0 and a KH of 0. And it just had to be full of crap, right? Not literally crap. It could be full of literal crap. But it could be full of a bunch of minerals, and you could have water that's 200 TDS that is 100% copper and has no GH and KH. Now, I'm just saying that. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know if that's 100% true. But in theory, it's true. But anyway, so Cooper, I would say find out what your GH and KH is, and those are the most important measurements. As long as your GH is around 8 and your KH is around 3 at least, then you're good with any type of Neo. Radical Edward, what a name. Radical. So Edward said, hi, Rob. How often and how big of water changes do you recommend for Neocaridinas? If you're feeding the appropriate amount and you have some plants in there and it's just a good balanced aquarium, I would say 10% per month is pretty good. You can do a little bit more than that if you want, but 10% per month is usually pretty good. Ryan C. said, can you breed shrimp into higher classes? Like if you start with red cherry shrimp, can you turn them into fire reds with excellent care? A video on how to selectively breed to improve your colony would be great. So Ryan, absolutely 100%. You can take a cherry shrimp and turn it into a painted fire red as easily as you can turn a painted fire red into a cherry shrimp. And so again, it's all just grading. So painted fire reds still produce cherry shrimp. Cherry shrimp can still produce a painted fire red. But yeah, so it's just culling, taking out the bad colored ones, breeding them back, or breeding the babies back to the adult, All these things play into selective breeding, and that's why it's so expensive when you buy the higher grade one, because so much more selective breeding went into it. And so let me do this. Let me do one more question, and it's Zippy. What would you recommend Hamburg matin filters for a 20-gallon red cherry shrimp? Or would you recommend? Oh, I recommend matin filters every day, all day, 100%, every single time, because if you look in every single one of my shrimp tanks, like I'll do a video, and you will see on every single shrimp tank, the shrimp are on the matin filter. They're not on the ground. They're not on the substrate. They're on the matin filter because they're eating the small particles. They're eating the microorganisms, the biofilm, everything that's going to grow on that matin filter. They're eating it. And so it turns into like a natural feeding zone for the shrimp. So matin filters all day, every day, 100 and 1,000%. So that's what I recommend. But before we end the stream, I do want to say we do have the special going on the shrimp starter packs. All that stuff is down below in the description. It's good all the way through tomorrow. So tomorrow at midnight Eastern time, it's going to end. And you guys are more than welcome to take advantage of that. It's for 10% off the shrimp starter packs. We got all the neocaradinas on there. I'm going to add the orange ones and the carbon really as soon as the stream ends. And you guys are more than welcome to take advantage of that. We appreciate your support. Me, Amanda, and Jeff, all the Flip Aquatics team. We got Mark, we got Ken, we got everybody. We all appreciate your support. You all are the reason that we're able to live this dream that is Flip Aquatics, and just help grow this awesome hobby that all of us love. So much love to you guys. Thank you so much for sticking around the stream. If you guys watch Game of Thrones, enjoy it tonight. I know I'm looking forward to it. So much love to you all. You guys have a great week. I'll talk to you guys soon. Later.